It's Christmas morning in 1996, Boulder, Colorado. Snow blankets the streets, and the Ramsey family's luxurious home glows with holiday lights. Inside, there's a sense of joy, the remnants of a festive evening scattered around. But by sunrise, this idyllic scene turns into a nightmare that will grip America for decades. A 6-year-old beauty queen, JonBenét Ramsey, is found murdered in her own home, sparking a mystery so tangled, so shocking that it still haunts investigators, true crime enthusiasts, and the Ramsey family to this day. What really happened that night? Was it an intruder, a botched kidnapping, or something even darker? As we unravel the layers of this case, prepare for twists, theories, and chilling revelations that will leave you questioning everything. Stay with us. This story isn't just about a murder. It's about the unraveling of a nation's trust. JonBenét Patricia Ramsey was the epitome of a child star. Her angelic face adorned countless beauty pageant stages, and her talent, charisma, and charm captured hearts across the country. Born on August 6, 1990, she was the youngest child of John and Patsy Ramsey. John, a successful businessman, had built a fortune, and Patsy, a former beauty queen herself, channeled her ambitions into JonBenét's burgeoning pageant career. The Ramsey family seemed to have it all: wealth, status, and a picture-perfect life. But on December 26, 1996, their world shattered. Around 5:30 a.m., Patsy Ramsey called 911 in a state of panic. She reported that her daughter was missing and that a ransom note had been found on the staircase. The note was bizarrely long and riddled with peculiar phrases. Demanded $118,000, an oddly specific sum that matched John Ramsey's recent work bonus. The police arrived, but their handling of the scene would later be heavily criticized. Friends and family were allowed to enter the home, potentially contaminating evidence. Hours later, John Ramsey made a horrifying discovery. JonBenét's lifeless body was in the basement. She had been strangled with a garrote made from a piece of cord and a broken paintbrush, and there were signs of a blow to her head. The crime scene raised more questions than answers. The basement window was broken, but there were no clear signs of forced entry. The ransom note seemed strangely theatrical, as if written by someone trying to stage a crime. And then there was the timeline. How could someone commit such a heinous act in a house full of people without being heard? As the investigation unfolded, suspicion began to fall on the Ramsey family themselves. Many found their behavior in the aftermath of JonBenét's death peculiar. Patsy's 911 call was analyzed to death, with experts claiming to hear a third voice in the background, possibly belonging to JonBenét's older brother, Burke. Then there was the ransom note, a 3-page manifesto that seemed unnecessarily long and detailed for a kidnapper in a hurry. Handwriting experts scrutinized Patsy's writing, and while some found similarities, there was never conclusive evidence linking her to the note. The media frenzy was relentless. The Ramseys were painted as either grieving parents or cold, calculating murderers. Every detail of their lives was dissected: Patsy's pageant obsession, John's wealth, and even Burke's behavior. Theories about the family's involvement ranged from accidental death cover-ups to premeditated murder. But what if it wasn't the Ramseys? The intruder theory gained traction when investigators considered the possibility of someone breaking in through the basement window. This theory was supported by the presence of unidentified DNA on JonBenét's clothing. Yet critics argue that the lack of physical evidence pointing to an outsider weakens this theory. Over the years, the case has been plagued by contradictions, red herrings, and a revolving door of suspects. One such suspect was John Mark Carr, a schoolteacher who confessed to the crime in 2006. His confession was riddled with inconsistencies, and DNA evidence ultimately cleared him, but his bizarre fixation on JonBenét reignited public interest in the case. Theories about the motive behind JonBenét's murder are just as varied. Some suggest it was a botched kidnapping by someone familiar with the Ramseys, given the specific ransom amount. Others believe it was a crime of opportunity, committed by someone who had been stalking the family. Then there's the chilling possibility of a predator targeting JonBenét for reasons too dark to fathom. The evidence doesn't fit neatly into any one narrative, leaving a void filled by speculation and doubt. Decades later, advancements in DNA technology have breathed new life into the case. In 2022, investigators announced plans to reanalyze evidence using more sophisticated techniques. While this offers a glimmer of hope, it also underscores the frustration of a case that has remained unsolved for so long. For the Ramsey family, the weight of suspicion has been a heavy burden. Both John and Patsy maintained their innocence until Patsy's death in 2006 from ovarian cancer. Burke, who has largely avoided the spotlight, broke his silence in a controversial 2016 interview, further fueling public curiosity. The murder of JonBenét Ramsey is more than just a tragic loss of an innocent life. It's a reflection of society's obsession with true crime, our rush to judgment, and the limits of our justice system. As you consider the facts of this case, ask yourself, what would it take to finally uncover the truth? Could it be buried in the evidence, waiting for the right breakthrough? Or is this a mystery destined to remain unsolved? A haunting reminder of the darkness that can hide behind even the most picture-perfect facades. Whatever the answer, the legacy of JonBenét Ramsey will continue to captivate, perplex, and unsettle us for generations to come.